This is yet another
DC animated podcast. Ho, ho, ho. Welcome to another episode of yet another DC animated podcast. My name is Shamar Griffith, codename Comic Shams.
And I am Andrew Tejada, codename Arate.
Andrew and I have known each other since 1996.
That was the year one of the hottest Christmas albums ever dropped, A Rubber Band Christmas. If you guys don't remember, if you were too young for this hot series of tracks, it's a 1996 instrumental Christmas novelty album featuring traditional and popular Christmas songs played entirely on rubber bands, staplers, and other office equipment.
Holy crap. Wait, what?
This is in honor of Rubber Band Man, you know?
That's what I was thinking. This is his album.
for all the entertainment he's given us. It's Rubber Bells, Rudolph the Rubber-Nosed Reindeer, and Felice Rubber Dodd are some of the tracks on this album.
I'm pretty sure that they remastered it later on with DMX singing Rudolph the Rubber-Nosed Reindeer.
This rubber is not a game.
Stop, drop, rubber, and rolling all that. Okay, I guess we gotta get back to being serious because we are, of course, it is the holiday season. So that means that we are joined by our favorite, least favorite. We're still undecided about this guy, Calendar Man.
Back again to torment us. He did have some serious threats, such as making us do a Christmas-themed Maximum Batman or whatever that franchise was. I had to scrub my memory of it all to preserve my sanity.
And as my Christmas gift to you, because I'm pretty sure that my Amazon shipping is very delayed now at this point, hashtag not sponsored, I will not reference what that movie was that still gives you nightmares. But instead today, Calendar Man decided that we're going to have a very amicable Christmas, as this time around, we're not going to watch a random DC animated movie that just happens to feature some Christmas themes. Instead, he wants to have a bedtime story read to him. This is going to be quite a doozy because the one that he picked out was Twas the Dark Night Before Christmas.
Now picture us in scarves, reading giant red storybooks, candy cane surrounding as we begin.
Yeah, I may add turn on a little fireplace right about here. I hope you enjoyed the moves that we have set for you all.
There we go. Imagine the crackling fire.
So this is Twas the Dark Night Before Christmas, story that we found actually by the writer Explosivo85. We don't know where Explosivo85 is currently, but 10 years ago, this story was put together. So here we go.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through Gotham City, not a creature was stirring, not even Catwoman's kitty. The criminals hid in their hideouts in fear, hoping that Batman wouldn't come anywhere near.
Robin was nestled, all snug in his bed, while visions of Batgirl danced in his head. And Alfred in his apron, and I in my suit, prepared for a night of giving evil the boot.
When from Arkham Asylum there arose such a clatter, I had to find Gordon to see what was the matter. Away from the Batcave, I drove in a flash, wondering whose face I was going to smash.
Later, atop the roof of Gotham's PD HQ, the commissioner stands waiting to meet you-know-who. When what to his wandering eyes should appear but Batman decked out in his crime-fighting gear.
It'll be a long night, said the crusader who's caped. I need a list of all the inmates who've escaped. It's a mighty long list. We don't know quite who to blame. He pulled out a notepad and recited their names.
There's Riddler and Bane, Joker and Harley Quinn, Two-Face, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, and Penguin. I leaped off the building, my cape billowed mid-fall. I will stop all these villains, all of them, all.
Towards Arkham I glided, not knowing what dangers I'd face. But I couldn't let madmen like these run all over the place. I knew Riddler'd be easiest. He'd leave me a clue. I'd just have to decipher it to know what to do.
Outside the asylum, a letter awaits. A riddle, it seems, has been tied to the gates. What kind of bird knows how to write? A penguin. So that's where they're heading tonight.
I sped off into the night, towards Cobbleplot's lair, knowing my entire rogues gallery was there. Atop of the hideout, two strange villains stood. Whatever they're up to, it sure isn't good.
I took down Harvey Dent with a batarang to the bad side of his face, and a quick right hook put Mr. Freeze in his place. I crept in through an air duct using all of my stealth. It's amazing the training you could receive with great wealth.
Two criminal women stood in the foyer. I drop-kicked Poison Ivy, and Harley screamed, "Mr. J!" He was dressed in all red fur, from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with dried blood and soot.
A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a clown who had already cracked. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how scary! Of all the villains I faced, of him, I'm most wary.
"Hello, Batsy," he shouted. "I was hoping you'd show. You're just in time for the big Christmas show." "You're finished, Joker," I said with a growl. Suddenly, something hit the side of my cowl.
A dizzy sensation, followed by pain. Only one man can hit that hard, the giant called Bane. I dodged and I ducked and I dived and I dipped. A boot to the solar plexus, and the mighty man tipped.
I grabbed Penguin's umbrella and gave him a whack. Right in the gut, he fell down screaming, "Ah!" The Riddler ran, but I'll get him all in due time, for now I must deal with the Crown Prince of Crime.
I know you must think this routine is overplayed, but I've poisoned the balloons for the Christmas parade. Once the gas is released, though, the people, they'll laugh. But they might not all die. Perhaps only half.
I grapple the ceiling. I jump and I swing. I kick him right in his face. Oh, the joy that it brings. And then he just laughs, with a gleam in his eyes. This will never be over until one of us dies.
The criminals are tied up. Justice has finally been dealt. I touch a small button on my utility belt. The bat plane hovers down by the roof and it lowers. I'll have to be quick to save all the parade goers.
I take off to the sky, the sun finally arising. Is it already dawn? I find this surprising. I've stopped the criminals. They've gotten their warning. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good morning. I can see why Calendar Man likes this so much.
Right?
It's implied that millions will die.
Well, only half.
Only half.
Only half. So, I mean, that's, I don't know, it's like Thanos standards. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. Because he didn't stop the plan. And he left him tied up, which is not effective for any of these villains, especially Bane.
And there are no cops in sight. Like, there has to be a part 2 to this.
I hope so, because I'm looking back. Did Bane, like Mr. Freeze, you crack the helmet? He might be, gasping for air.
He's definitely leaking coolant right now. I mean,
yeah. But yeah, Bane, one kick to the solar plexus. I don't think that's going to put him out of commission for that long. So, sorry, Gotham. For Christmas, you're getting death. That's your gift.
At least it'll be with a smile on your face.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, it looks like, though, at least Calendar Man really enjoyed the story, because I see him over here. He's knocked out. He's sleeping. Maybe a little too much eggnog, but hopefully it was our storytelling that did the work.
Yes, and now we can focus on real Christmas movies from DC, like Batman Returns and Shazam.
Bet you didn't know Shazam was a Christmas movie.
I know it's Philadelphia, so you don't absorb it, but yeah, it's Christmas there too. It's Christmas everywhere.
There's so many Christmas themes in the DC universe, such as you could check out some Christmas episodes, like or even movies that we've covered, like Mask of the Phantasm, which again we covered. There's also in Batman the animated series a bullet for Bullock. We also have a bunch within the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited world, such as did you know that Clark Kent, aka Superman, still believes in Santa Claus?
Oh, does he? Well, I mean, practically he could do what Santa Claus does, but I mean,
It's also because Santa does exist in the DC universe.
oh,
Yeah, there is full on comic book knowledge, which we're now calling not only just lore, but legit physical evidence that proves that Santa Claus ensures that he heads on over to the world of Apocalypse every Christmas to make sure that Darkseid gets his lump of coal.
that is dedication to the job, and I appreciate it. Does he use a boom tube?
I don't know Santa technology, if that's even what it's called. I think it's, some people might call it like traversing through the Yuleverse. That's one option, but I'm pretty sure that boom tube technology probably extended from whatever technology Santa uses.
You heard it here first. Santa Claus into the Yuleverse. The crossover you've been waiting for, uniting the Santas from Klaus, the Santa Claus, the Elf Santa, that one SpongeBob Santa. They're all going to unite for the
Also,
crossover.
we don't talk about the David Harbour Santa. I haven't seen that movie yet, but I'm pretty sure he's too violent for that Yuleverse.
He's the biggest threat to the Yuleverse.
Well, that wraps up our little Christmas special here. We hope that you enjoyed the story and definitely take some time to enjoy the holiday season. If you can ever find the recipe for it, you could drink Grandma Esther's eggnog from The Flash, which apparently is strong enough to knock out a speedster. Also, we'll probably have a debate on which is better, eggnog or coquito. Like this is the.
I mean, there's no debate. There's no debate. It's coquito, guys. Just so you know.
Until next year, take care of yourselves and remember that he knows when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been good, so be good for goodness sake. So never cross the street or sell an eighth because Batman will come for you and you don't want that shit to happen.
And if you are in a tough situation with Batman, consider handing him over your bottle of coquito. It's going to be tough, but at least you'll have all your ribs.